I just want to give a quick tutorial on using bingo games in my OG lessons or in my structured literacy lessons. Um, and I will try to differentiate what I use for a individual session and what I use for group lessons. Show you my screen. So my favorite tool, and there are many, but the one I've used for years, sorry, you don't need to see that, is Bingo Baker. And I've tried Flippity, I've tried other bingo card generators, but I've used Bingo Baker for years. It's free. I had at one point decided that it's $10 for a lifetime. So I went ahead and spent the $10 some time ago just because I felt like they were such a great service. I wanted to support them, even though the free version, met my needs. Was one thing I can do. Anyway, Bingo Baker, it can print bingo cards, or it can make bingo cards that you can print, and it can make bingo cards that you can play in a virtual setting or online. So this is the home screen. So you can look at a bingo card generator, or you can look for bingo cards. Now, because this has been around for years, I go into the bingo card section here. I can type in words, and probably someone else has already made that bingo list. So if you're using any vocabulary lists of published curriculum, the cards have probably already been made. So I know that I have seen Fry lists, I've seen Wonders lists, I've seen Horizon, I've seen whatever. If you have a list of words, you type in some of those words in here, and I bet there's a card that's already been made. For instance, I have some students who are using Wonders, and so I'd say, okay, let me look at Unit 5, and so I find the Wonders list, and I'm going to just copy my Wonders list, some words, and pop it in here. Here are some of the words that's in Unit 5, Grade 1 Wonders. I can search it and look at that. So high frequency words, Unit 5. And that is it. I didn't even realize I had the word O in there. I personally don't care for ones with the free space in the middle. I like to use all the spaces. So this one is a different set of those lists. If I'm just looking at it, this one looks like it's the high frequency word list Unit 5 for Wonders, and it's 28 words. And because it's more than the 25, I can get rid of the free. So I'm just going to take this card here, and I have the choice to print it, or I can download it, which downloading is nice if you want to have the PDF. Then you can either pop PDFs into whatever your presentation is. If you want to pop a snip of it into your Google Slides, into a Jamboard, into whatever you want, you can do it that way by getting your image and then downloading it. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you how to edit it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to clone this list so that I can change it. I don't care for having the bingo letters here. Get rid of these. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this. Don't want it. And get rid of this option. This centered space is the free. I don't want that. There we go. And I knew it had 28 words, so we're there. And I just hit generate. So it's going to make a new bingo card. Got rid of the free space, and there I have it. Now I can print these, and when I print it with the free version, you can print, it'll print, I think it's 8 cards, 8 different cards, and you can print many more of them. You can download it, or you can play it online. So I'm going to just show you what these look like. So this is the print version. Here we go. So Here's one card. You can see this order here. Sure, color, build, above, put. The next card has a different order. Next card, a different order. So when you do the print, you can print out the different orders of the words, so everyone can have a different, or almost everyone can have a different uh, bingo card. So this is nice for in-person work where you would then print these out and give it to the kids, put in their binders, and you can work on these words or take home and they can practice reading these words however you want to use it. Let me go back. Or you can play it online. Now the online, it says you're going to generate a card. Yes, I want to generate a card, and it gives you instructions here. Okay, so what I do is I take that link and I send it to my students through the chat in Zoom or through Google Meet chat, whatever I'm using. And I have my students bring this up on their screen, and then I give out the clues. Now, I could ask them to just practice reading these words, but what fun is that? My choice is to get them to interact with the words and to think critically about the words and to read them again and again and again. And if I just said, read this list of words every day or 3 times a day, whatever, you're not going to get a lot of compliance. But when you play the game and you get kids to play it somewhat competitively, then you get more compliance. So if I say, I'd like a word that's a number, somebody find a word that's a number. And then, the kids are listening to me on the Meet or the Zoom and they say, oh, I found the number 4, and they mark it on their screen. Now, I don't see their screens if they're doing this in Google Meet or in Zoom. If I've sent them the link to a group, I don't see their screens, but I'll hear them say, oh, the number 4. That's a great. And then someone else was like, oh, I said it at the same time, or, I was about to say it. Then I'll say, okay, split the sounds up for me. Tell me what the sounds are in that word and what is spelling each sound. So I can get them to do some mapping there. The sounds are or, okay, what's saying O in that word? And they tell me, oh, you says O in that word. Great, you mark it too. Or however I want to do it, or I can say, tell me a word that rhymes with 4. And if they can tell me door or whatever, then they get to mark it too. So I find a way to get everybody interacting with what we've been working on. And I might do something else. I might just say, tell me a word that's the opposite of empty. And so I'm going to pull in that type of knowledge. And they're looking through and they're reading the words, and someone says, oh, full. Full is the opposite of empty. Great. I might give someone else the chance to map it. What are the sounds in full? Okay, why are there 2 L's in full? And see if I've taught that rule that we often double F, L, and S after a single vowel at the end of a base word. What sound is the U making? All those questions I can ask and get more kids involved and thinking about it, and they get to mark the word too. And then I will give clues that can have more than one answer. I'll say, okay, everybody, find me a word with a vowel team. Somebody find me a word with a vowel team. And someone will say, oh, I see, great. And good, what's the vowel team? And what sound is that team spelling in this word? So they'll say the EA is saying A, and they'll mark that one. And someone else might say, oh, round. And what's the vowel team? Oh, you. What's it saying here? Ow. So I'll get kids, not that they're always marking the same word, but they're all reading and, hopefully all reading and interacting. And I can give words hints that are definition, rhyme. I do parts of speech, even for the very youngest ones. I might say, I'm looking for an action word. I call them verbs, but I want you to find a word that's an action, something you can do. Think of a word you can do. You might say, I something. Something you can do. And someone will say, I put my clothes away. Okay, good, you did that one. I guess, all right, you get that one. I knew, okay, good. Those are all verbs. Mark those. And I might ask some other questions about these. I might ask questions like, find a word that has an unusual spelling for a sound. And they might say, oh, this one, the KN is spelling and this one has that really weird spelling that says ooh. Good job. I might say, find me a word with an EAR that says And they look through and they look through. Here's one, and they mark it. What sound is it making? Good. And then someone else will say, is there another one out here with the EAR? Thought I saw AR. No, they'll say, oh, this one has the EA. All right, well, tell me what that says. What sound is that making? Or I might say, how else might we spell the sound? See if you can find another word. And someone says, oh, here is a that uses the ER, and they mark that one. Anyway, I'm going to get kids to interact and read the words again and again and again, however we need to. I don't personally like to use the high frequency words, but I know a lot of kids are required to. So if I'm going to have to work with kids that have a word list like this in first grade, I will still try to promote orthographic mapping, the sound symbol correspondence, and I might teach them, some crazy things like why in the world is a first grader having to learn this OUGH here, thought and through. But if they have to, we'll say, okay, that's a really funny spelling. And we used to pronounce it a different way. Do you know they actually said it in a really funny way? I'm so glad we don't have to say it that way anymore. They used to say this, ugh, and make a really funny noise with it. Anyway, whatever I can to get them to interact. So I will use bingo this way. So not just calling out the words for them to find, but getting them to interact with the words. So this is a first grade high frequency word list. And this one, I just typed the words in and it was already made. I did that in the search. All right, let me go back to, so here, let's say, okay, I'm doing my own word list. No one else has done this word list before. How do I put it in? I'm going to come in here. And again, I don't like having the bingo letters up here because I don't call it out by the column. I don't like having the free here. Get rid of that. So here. So let's say I've got students and I have, where's my list? I've been working with some of my older students in morphology, and I have some Latin roots. So so this is just a Google sheet, and I just have a sheet of different Latin roots and that we're collecting and working with. So I'm going to show you a real quick trick here. So if I come up here and if I look at a regular sheet, the lines are this size, and I would type my words in, but then I want to make it so that it's larger, so I can project it. I come in here and I make it larger, and I change the font to 100 or whatever to make it more like a flashcard. I can make this even bigger, so it's more like a flashcard. So there we go. And I now have a very quick digital flashcard. So I just wrote all my words here in Google Sheets. Just type them all in a list, then select it and change the size of each cell and change the font. And I have like these little flashcards now, and we can go through and display it like a flashcard. But let's say, okay, I've got this list. I've written out the list of words that we're working with. And I'm going to just copy this list. Words are in this list. Copy this list, Control C, come over here. Oh, get rid of this. More space there. And I'm going to go here to paste in a list of words. Here we go. I'm going to just paste it in, Control V. Now, I think I only had 16 words in that list, so that wasn't enough. Let me grab some more words from my next list. Okay, so I'm going to come up here and copy these, select, and C, and come over here and pop it into this list. Control B, it's now in this list. Okay, and they're all there, and watch how fast this is. I mean, how long did that take me? And I will call this, what were those? I don't remember. I think I grabbed the odd spec and I forget. Anyway, and I want to generate the cards. There we go. I now have my bingo cards. And again, I can print it, I can download it, or I can send this link. I copy the link to my clipboard and send it in the chat to my students, and then they pull it up on their side. Now, I don't see them. I don't see their cards. But I will mark on mine something, or I might take notes, the words that we've discussed. And if, you know, if I need to, I can ask a student to then share their screen with me at the end if I needed to check that they really did win. But for me, getting them to interact with the words is the win. So for groups, I send them the link. For individuals, I often, if I'm on Zoom, I share remote control of the mouse with the student if it's just one, and then I let the student mark the words. But if a student is on a Chromebook, then I send them the link because they can't control my mouse if they're on a Chrome, but it gives them the ability to be interactive. So I also included port, I see it now. So I might do something where I'll say my word is, but I could start off by saying, you know, find me a word that uses the root that means to carry. And they say, oh, transportation. The root was port. Good. And then I'll say, great, what's the suffix on that? And I'll get them to interact with it. Okay, can you tell me what the prefix means on that one? Good. And I just will keep pulling in the questions to get them to read and interact. Okay, someone else find another one that has that root or that suffix or that whatever. Or I might do it by, I'd like to find a noun. And they'll say, oh, retrospection. How do you know it's a noun? Do you even, and it's like, oh, I already know the IONs are all nouns. You're right, because those are the abstract nouns, the concept of. So those are nouns. Good. And let's try to use it in a sentence or whatever. And let's look for verbs. So let's look for this. And let's look for a suffix that means able to. Someone find a word with a suffix that means able to. And then they'll say audible. What does that mean? Oh, able to hear. And someone find a word with the prefix that means under. Look for a prefix that means under. They're going to read. They didn't find a sub. Oh, but sup means under. To support is like to be under you, carrying you, carrying your weight along. So supportive. So whatever it is I'm going to do, I will get the kids to interact this way. They can mark the on their video, on their bingo cards. And we can do this interactively over Zoom or Meet by sending the link to the student. If you have any questions, just send me a note and I'll see if I can help you with that. Oh, so if you wanted to send an image, so I could do it from here, but I can use the print screen option and take a picture of it, save it, and then load that image into background in Google Slides, or just take that image and drop it into a Jamboard for my littles. if we're already doing work in Jamboard, I might drop the image of a bingo card into Jamboard so that they're not having to go out from one platform into another. So I could do that. But, you know, so you can do that as an image by just doing a print screen. You can upload this as if you do that download option, you can upload the PDF of it wherever you might upload a PDF. If you're using Cami or whatever you're using, and then you can annotate on that. The other option is to I project this, share my screen with this on my screen, and if I'm in Zoom, I can have one person or several people annotate right on this one screen using their annotate tools. So then I might just we're playing 3 in a row or whatever. So using your annotate tool, mark on your bingo card, not to actually click on it, but just to mark on it with the annotation to mark your score. And we're trying to get 3 in a row or 4 in a row. And they try to block each other, or whatever it is, depending on how large a group I have. Okay, hope that helps.